Hi, I'm Natalie Campbell, and I'm inviting you to vote for me to be your next Mayor of London. In this series of podcasts, I'm going into more detail about the points in my manifesto in a way that's far more conversational. No one's ever going to read through a 100-page manifesto like the other candidates have. Let's have a conversation. So, good homes, happy neighbourhoods. What does it mean? Why is it important? Well, firstly, you told me in the What London Wants survey that affordable housing was one of your top priorities. It's one of the things that you believe the Mayor of London needs to tackle on day one. And I can tell you right now that on day one, it is one of the first things that I will start to build a strategy for. We'll look at the rental market and we'll look at homes to buy. We need to have a better plan for affordability for both. So let's start with the rental market. According to Centrepoint, affordability is actually paying a rent that's no more than 30% of your salary. I would say that we can expand that more broadly to 40%. What we're seeing in London at the moment is people are paying upwards of 50%, and in some cases, 70 or 80% of their salary out on rent. This is just ludicrous. This doesn't make London work well. It makes London feel hard. It makes London feel like an oppressive city. It makes London feel like it doesn't value the people that live here. And now that's an odd concept because London means so many different things to different people. But you all know what I mean when you just say, you walk around and people don't look happy here. They don't look like they're thriving. And it's the weight of knowing that every day we wake up, there's this heavy bill to pay at the end of the month, in addition to all of the other heavy bills that we have to pay. One of the first things that we'll do on the rental side is build more builds to rents. This helps the whole market be far more competitive in favour of the renter. And it's also something that provides transparency because you can see a range of rents. You can see that a studio costs £1,000. You can see that a 3-bed property costs £2,000, for example. But that level of transparency in terms of how rents are set, that helps get the market to a place where landlords, private landlords, have to behave in a far more responsible way. It also means that estate agents need to behave in a far more responsible way. So from rental to homes to buy, the Mayor has a strategy called the London Plan. In this document, it outlines the planning guidance for what local authorities and mayoral development corporations can do across the capital. One of the things that we need to change within this plan is how we think about greenbelt land that is not green. It has no biodiversity. It has no nature. It's ultimately a concrete site. And we can all think about them. We can think about TfL lands that we've seen that's just going to waste. We need to reclassify that land, grey zone, purple zone, whatever we want to call it. But we need to bring that land back into the planning process and work out what makes sense to be built on that land. And it might not be that all of that land is ripe for large developments, but a small builder scheme with 5 or 6 family homes has just as much value in London as these large developments that have studios, 1-beds and 2-beds, as starter homes to help people get on the ladder in London. I, as a mayor, would work hand in glove with local authorities. And I could do it in a way that's very different to the current mayor because I don't have a political agenda. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do, not because it's the political thing to do. And in building relationships with the local authorities based on what makes things better for the people we are here to serve, you, the voters, you, the taxpayers, you, the people that live here, and me, it's a very different way of thinking about how we create spaces and places that people want to live in, how we think about neighbourhoods as opposed to a development, a block, 50 homes, 100 homes. What's the neighbourhood that we're trying to create? It's a very different philosophy. In addition to a rental market and a market of homes to buy, we need to start to look at people that are not being supported by housing at all. And I'm talking specifically here about young people that are homeless. In the UK at the moment, there are over 136,000 young people that do not have a home to go to. They do not have a bed to sleep in on a consistent basis, and that's just not good enough. In London, we estimate that's about 20,000 people, 20,000 young people, and we need to change that. That number needs to be 0. So as part of my Good Homes and Happy Neighbourhoods plan, I would focus on ending youth homelessness. Homelessness, and especially youth homelessness, is a political choice. So as mayor, I will make sure that I choose to end it. And we will look at all of the systemic challenges, blockers, barriers, ways of thinking that means this has not happened yet. But it's possible. How would I pay for this? Well, I'd introduce London's first tourist levy. The idea is that a tourist has a good night's sleep and a young Londoner has a good night's sleep also. It's 1 for 1. There are over 150,000 hotel rooms in London. Every time that we go to another city, another global city, be that Paris or Barcelona or Madrid or New York or Los Angeles, we pay taxes. So I'm just leveling us up to what everyone else is doing. And in creating this levy, we can create enough revenue to support changing the livelihoods, changing the possibilities for tens of thousands of young people in London. So my idea around Good Homes and Happy Neighbourhoods is broader than just making sure we have a plan for affordable housing. It looks at all of the challenges and all of the things that you're annoyed about from a rentals perspective, from a buying in London perspective, but also looking after those that don't even have the option of renting and that don't believe they will ever get close to buying. And that's what the mayor should be thinking about. In the next episode, we'll be talking about safe streets and local police. So keep watching, keep listening, and tell me what you think. Subscribe, leave comments, let me know if you agree, let me know if you want more information, because we can build this together.